Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see, I've got a review here of a set of markers. They're from a company called Art and Fly. Now, predominantly, these markers are sold in America and places like that. You can get them here in the UK on Amazon, but they are slightly more difficult to get hold of. Now, I'll go through the different sets that are available. First of all, the biggest set that they do, the biggest box that they do, is a set of 48. This is a set of 24 that I've been sent to review. But they also do a set of 6 skin tones and a set of 6 greys. Now those greys and those skin tones are not in the 48 set, so that's a total of 50 markers. Now occasionally I have seen the 6 set of skin tones on Amazon. I've seen them quite a few times, but unfortunately I wasn't able to see them when I received this set, because if I'd have seen them, I would have bought them for the artwork that I'd done. As you can see here, there's an image of a speed drawing that I'd done. It was just a simple drawing of Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story movies. I had all the colours that I had here in this 24 set. Kind of, they limited me to what I was able to do, and so I did that. But I used the Art and Fly coloured pencils, which I was also sent to do the skin tones. But like I say, they do have a nice set of 6 skin tones that would have done that really nicely as well. So don't let that put you off. I will be doing a review of the pencils as well, so keep an eye out for that review. But for now, this is the markers. Now, everybody is always looking for a Copic alternative. Copics are really expensive and all the rest of it, so everybody is looking for a cheaper alternative. And with the testing that I've done with these, I would definitely say that this is a great brand if you can buy them, to certainly go for, to start out with, that type of thing. Now, on top of the fact that you've got a set of 48 or 24 and you've got the 2 6 sets, they also have refills. Now the refills are, they say that one refill will fill your marker, I think it's 12 times. It's a 25cc size, or 0.85 fluid ounces. That's what's in the refill. I'll have the prices over in the Art Gear Guide, but unfortunately the prices are just going to be US prices, because I can't find the prices for anywhere else. I will also have links to their website so that you can go across directly to their website and have a look at the other products that they do, because it's not just markers that Art and Fly do, or pencils. There's a whole range of other things like watercolors, that type of thing. They do their own sketch pads and marker pads, so it's definitely worth having a look. Now, this set, this 24 set, came in this little plastic container thing, this little zip pouch, but the 48 set comes in a box, and I'm assuming, in fact, the lady that I was speaking to from Art and Fly, she had actually said to me not to worry too much about the packaging, because I think that they're actually, with the box that they have in the 48 set, I think that they're trying to incorporate that into all their markers. I think that's the kind of line that they're going down. The 2 6 sets, the greys and the skin tones, they come in small boxes as well. One other thing that you can get for these as well, you can also get replacement brush nibs and a replacement bullet nib, and I'll go into that in a second. So if you take a look at the 24 that I have here, I've kind of put them into color groups where you can blend them, and I'm going to show you how well they blend in a second. But let's just take one of the markers and we'll take a look at the actual marker itself. So As you can see, it's dual tipped. On one side there's a chisel tip, and on one side there's a brush tip. Now the brush tip, I'll go into more detail in a minute, but it's a really nice brush tip. I know I said that they do replacement tips, and one of the tips that they do is a bullet nib. I'm assuming the reason why they do the bullet nib is because they know that a lot of people would prefer a brush tip and a bullet nib end, and so if you wanted to, you could buy a packet of 5 bullet nibs and replace 5 of the chisel tips, and then you're left with a bullet tip and a brush tip. What with the 6-packs that they do, I meant to mention this, the skin tone set is the only set that they have this available in, but the skin tone set, they have a brush tip set, and they also have a bullet nibs set. So the bullet nib set also has a chisel tip, and then obviously the brush nib tip is this. So it's a kind of octagonal shape. It's a really nice pen to hold and to work with. The lids are really easily taken off, not too much in terms of that. I hear people talking about markers and how bad they smell, or whether there's no odor or anything like that. I think that's a moot discussion to be having, and the reason being is because my sense of smell is going to be completely different than anybody else's. I personally, some of the other markers that I've reviewed and stuff like that, I've had people say, my goodness, that they smell really overpowering, but I haven't been able to smell it and detect it. And it's the same with these. I think one of the pens, I think it was the black, there was a little odor from it, but nothing too dramatic or anything like that. So as far as I'm concerned personally, there's no odor from these pens. I could not smell any odor. But like I said, that's, you know, getting into how bad a marker smells is a dodgy subject for as far as I'm concerned, because we all have different levels of smell. So the nibs, as you can see here, there's a brush nib here. There's a good level of flexibility in it, and I'll show you that when I'm doing the blending in a second. And then there's the traditional chisel nib also. And then along the barrel you have indications of the tips on either side. You also have here kind of like a slightly bigger gap where the brush markers are. So for the lid from the brush marker, there's a slightly bigger gap. It's pretty similar with all markers now. You have this bigger gap type of thing that just helps, and it's just another way of indicating. Now there are numbers on the caps, but as far as I can tell, the color charts aren't really kind of. I'll have an image of the color chart over in the Art Gear Guide in my written review. You'll be able to go across, take a look at the color chart, and see how they've laid the color chart out. It's not really laid out in family, like color families or anything like that. But like I said, the two sets, the skin tone and the greys, they're not available in the 48 set. And when you put them in with the 48 set, you do have a really nice selection of greys and skin tones, because there are a few skin tones in the 48 set. There's a couple here as well. So I'm just going to show you some blending and how well these markers blend, because they blend exceptionally well. Now the paper that I'm using here is proper marker paper. I'll have a link down below for the actual paper that I'm using, and if you want, you can go and take a look at that. So I will zoom in. Once I put this mark down, I'll zoom in. If I zoom in now, you're not going to be able to okay, let me zoom in there. Okay, so as you can see there, there's a nice flexibility. to the brush marker. So let me just show you the blending first of all. As you can see there, when I blend with markers, I kind of do this feathered effect rather than having like a prominent line in between the gradients. I keep working it. I keep coming back and forth with the markers. And then finally, the darker brown. So there you go. You can see there that the gradient it works really well. I mean, like these, the 4 pens that I've used, they're not really from the same color family. You've got, their numbers aren't really kind of like, they don't coordinate. They're all browns, but as you can see there, this is the lightest. The 237 is the lightest. Then it goes 101. Then it goes 97, and then 93 is the darkest. So I'm not 100% sure how the number system works on these. But that's why it's important that when you get anything, whether it's colored pencils or markers, it's important that you do your own color chart. You mess about with the colors and you get used to the colors. As you can see here as well, there's no colored names on the pens. One other thing as well, some of the pens, the actual ink that comes out of them coordinates quite well with the lids, but there's a few of them that don't. So say like this one here, this brown 93, you can see there the color of the lid, but that's the color of the actual ink. But like I say, I personally don't see those being issues, because whenever I'm doing work or whatever, I have these books, and I have all the different markers or color pencils, whatever book it is, or watercolor pencils. So I would get out this. Just let me zoom out a little bit. I would get out this swatch book, and I have all the colors down on roughly the same type of paper that I'm going to be working on. And so I can look at the colors, the numbers, and reference it that way. I find that way is a lot more accurate than just looking at the pen lids or anything like that, because 99% of the time, doesn't matter what company you're talking about when it comes to ink, or even colored pencils for that matter, you're not always going to get 100% representation from the indicator on the actual product as to what you're going to get on the paper. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you've got a good color chart for referencing whenever you're doing your work, because the last thing you want to do is put down a color that is way off what you think it's going to be. In this 24 selection, I think actually there's quite a nice selection of colors. We've got, just let me zoom out. So we've got 2 yellows here, really, a really light yellow and a slightly darker one. Then we've got these kind of like vermilion red, and then going up into a deeper red. 2 pinks, a light blue and a dark blue. I'll just show you those. That's kind of the blue there for that pen. This is kind of, I suppose, I'll show you the chisel tips actually. So that would be kind of like a royal blue, I guess. In terms of it coming through on the other side, this paper is kind of like card. I don't know whether you can hear that. So it's a thick paper. It does come through on the other side. So as you can see here, I've got paper down for coming through, and you can see there that it has come through. But you know, I think that's pretty much standard for a lot of alcohol markers on the market today. The black, this 24 set comes with a blender pen, so that's really handy. And the black is a nice deep black. Let me just zoom in there, show you that. So you can see there that it's a really nice black, as is the case with the red that we have here with it as well. It's a really nice, you can see there on the tip. It's a really nice deep red. Now, bearing in mind that these are really classed as I think they're kind of more a budget line marker. Certainly that's what they're priced at. I don't think that their quality represents that. I think their quality is slightly higher than what you would expect from a budget line marker. But I think it's really good the way they have the refills, their little pouches, the refills. I think it's good the way they have the brush tips and the bullet nibs as well, that you can replace the markers with. So I think it's really impressive the way Art and Fly have done this. Now, I've wanted to test these pens for a long time, same with the colour pencils, and I'm really so glad that I did get to test them, because the pen overall, holding it is really nice, comfortable hold in the hand. It's not too clunky or anything like that. It's not too small either. It's just kind of right. The lids come off really easy. I personally didn't find any strong odors or anything like that. The actual colour indication on the lid doesn't match up exactly with the ink that actually comes out of the pen. So like I said, to recap, make sure that you have a colour chart done before you actually start any work. And for me, the biggest problem is availability. Now, when I was talking to the lady from Art and Fly, she did say that they are in the process of trying to make sure that they are more available in the UK. Obviously, she doesn't know, and I don't really know how long that's going to take for that to happen. But the sooner the better, really, because I would love to have had the 48 set of these. I maybe could have done something a little bit different. And I certainly would have loved to have had the skin tones as well and the greys, because then obviously the more colours you have with markers, the more scope you have as to what you can do and that. But as you can see here from the image that I'm putting up now, this is what I've done, this Buzz Lightyear. I'll have a link down below for the speed drawing of that, so you can go across and take a little look at that as well. And I'll also have a full and detailed review up of the Art and Fly coloured pencils. So because the speed drawing that I've done, I used the Art and Fly colour pencils and the markers in conjunction with one another. So you'll be able to get to see both products working on the same piece and how well they work together. So that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching this review. Don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Links for that will be down below. You can also go across to the Art Gear Guide. There'll be lots of links over there for the social media sites that I'm part of. They're probably the best way of getting hold of me and finding out when new reviews are coming out, that type of thing. And also, there's a link down below for an art survey that I'm doing at the minute. If you want to go across and take part in that, that's absolutely fine. It's just 10 simple questions, and the questions are related to basically the type of products that you guys like. And what I'm trying to establish is, and you don't have to leave your name or any details or anything like that. It's a simple survey, and it gives me an indication of what type of product reviews that you guys are looking for, would like to have done. So that's the aim of the survey. There's nothing more to it. I'm not trying to gather in names or anything like that for spamming people or anything like that. You don't have to give your name at all. So that's really about it, guys. Like I say, thank you so much for watching this review, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Bye.